Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this tutorial we're going to go in and we are going to make an opening and closing graphic. And we're also going to kind of figure out where do we want that graphic to come in, where's the music going to be at, where do I start at. So it's going to be a little bit of detective work first. So what I like to do for a video like this, I like to have the video start with the graphic and start with music before I come on screen. That way it just kind of adequately prepares the audience for, hey, this is what the video is, this is the style, this is the audio levels, and it just kind of gets them prepared for what's coming. So what I would recommend for this, before we start bringing in graphics, let's just see where do we want my video piece, the talking head piece that we've been working with, where do we want that to start? So I'm going to just go by the music. So I just want to isolate the music track for this section. I'm going to turn off the audio track for me by clicking this speaker icon, and you'll notice that it goes from a speaker with audio waves to a speaker without audio waves. And now I'm going to hit the space bar to play. Now what I'm looking for is a good spot in the music to where we can transition from our graphic, which we'll incorporate shortly, transition from that graphic to my talking head piece. So let's go ahead and give it a listen. Okay, right there. Did you hear that? I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to this timeline, and my keyboard shortcut for that is Shift F. So I'm going to hold Shift and tap F. And let's zoom in one more time, Shift F. That just gives us a better view of what we're looking at. And remember, we're looking at these audio levels down here, or these waveforms down here. This is the music. Right there. Let's zoom in a little bit more, Shift F. And one more time, Shift F. So I think right here at the 11 second and 11 frame mark, that's where I want to pop into this handsome looking guy right here. Let's go ahead and give it one more listen just to make sure. Right there. That is our sweet spot. So that is where I want me to begin. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out of our timeline, and to do that, it's Shift G. So remember, it's Shift F to zoom in, and it's Shift G to zoom out. And every time you hit Shift G, you zoom out a little bit further. So I'm going to drag my video and audio track, and I'm going to move it right over here. Let's go ahead and zoom back in, Shift F, and Shift F again to zoom in. Now the question is now, do we want to start this video? Do we want to start with me, no talking, or start with me talking? Let's give it a trial run. Yeah, that's too much dead space. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and turn my audio back on. And remember, you can do that by coming over here to the speaker icon and clicking it, and now it's going to be active. Let's do that one more time. Hey everyone, I'm Brantley, one of the founders of Cut. Now that's a long time to go without actually hearing me talk. I mean, the last thing anyone wants is to have more footage than they need to of me just smiling into the camera. So what we can do is we will just put our timeline indicator right where we want my video to start. And if you hover your mouse on the outer edge of where your video and audio track begin, it turns into a nice little green icon. What we're going to do is we're going to click, and we're just going to drag so that not only does my video start, but my audio starts shortly thereafter. Let's see how that sounds. Hey everyone, I'm Brantley, one of the founders of Cut. Now that sounds pretty good. Hey everyone. Okay, but there is something I'm noticing. Let's see if you guys can pick it up. So back here, I'm gonna hit my space bar to play.
Hey everyone, I'm Brantley, one of the founders of Cut Yeti, unlimited video.
It sounds good, but I'm taking a breath at the very beginning. So what we can do is zoom in, and remember the keyboard shortcut for zoom in is Shift F. We're gonna do that a few times. Quite a few times. Now this is where my dialogue starts. And let's just go ahead and mute our music track by clicking the speaker icon. You hear that right there? All I'm doing is clicking on the timeline indicator and dragging it back and forth. That sound is me taking a breath before I start to speak. I want to eliminate that. And what we can do is we can use keyframes. Now, keyframes are a way for you to make incremental changes in your video or your audio over the course of a set amount of time. And you determine how long it takes and what have you. Let me give you an example. So remember, we came in here earlier to adjust these audio levels by clicking and dragging up and down. But now I want to do multiple adjustments on the same track. If you hold the Control key or Command key on your keyboard, you'll notice that our double-sided arrow turns into a plus or crosshair. Now, if I hold that Control key, hover over our white line, and I click with my mouse, it makes a keyframe. And you can click and drag that keyframe up and down. I'm going to go ahead and Control Z or Command Z to undo that, in the same manner that we would do the same thing here. Now what I want to do is have the audio here where I'm taking a breath to be silent. So I'm going to make another keyframe, hold the Control key, your double-sided arrow turns into a plus sign, and you're going to click with your mouse, and now we have two keyframes. Now watch what happens when I just take this first one and I bring it down. So now this audio is at -60, which is essentially nothing, and this audio is at +12. And now when I scroll back and forth with my timeline indicator, you don't hear anything at all.
Hey everyone.
Oh, get a pop though.
Hey everyone.
Let's see if we can adjust that.
Hey everyone. Hey everyone, I'm Brantley.
Let's see if we can bring that over.
Hey everyone. Hey everyone.
So something weird is happening that shouldn't be happening there. We're getting a pop in the audio.
Hey everyone.
And that shouldn't be happening. And I think I've said this before, I'm sure I'll say it again, but so much of video editing and really just film and video production as a whole is problem solving. Because even though the software, and it's not just limited to this software, even the big players like Adobe Premiere, Avid Media Composer, Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, they all have these little quirks where things go wrong when they shouldn't. And it's up to you, the editor, the filmmaker, the video producer, to figure out how to make it work. So this is real, and we're doing this together. This isn't a pre-baked, cooking show style video tutorial. This is what you actually have to figure out whenever you're going in and editing. So let's try and Encyclopedia Brown this thing together.
Hey everyone.
And so let's just go ahead and back up before we made the keyframes. So I'm going to hit Control Z until we can get rid of those keyframes and see if that sound goes away. So Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, and let's just see if that sound goes away.
Hey everyone.
Okay, so the sound
Hey everyone.
problem is gone now.
Hey everyone.
But if we bring this down,
hey everyone.
Ooh, we get a nasty pop. What if we don't bring it down as much? What if we just bring it down a little?
Hey everyone.
We still get a nasty pop. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z.
Hey everyone.
What if we make another keyframe? So I'm going to hit Control, turns the double-sided arrow to a plus, click with my mouse. Now we have a third keyframe. Let's see if that makes any change.
Hey everyone.
Okay, so it does make a change.
Hey everyone. Hey everyone.
Let's make another keyframe. So I'm holding the control key, makes it a plus. I'm going to click with the mouse. And let's just see if I can bring this one down.
Hey everyone. Hey everyone.
Okay, that's not sounding perfect, but it is sounding better. Let's stretch this keyframe out.
Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Everyone. I'm everyone. Hey everyone.
Yeah, it's definitely giving us some trouble for some reason.
Hey everyone.
And you're hearing like a little pop right there too.
Hey everyone.
Right there. Did you hear that? Kind of like a tinny pop.
Everyone. I'm Brantley.
And then it gets loud here, which I want to try and keep the audio consistent. But for some reason, this just is playing games with us.
Hey everyone. Hey everyone. I'm Brantley. Hey everyone. I'm Brantley.
Okay, so we kind of got rid of the issue, but I'm still not happy. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Z and undo several times until we get back to no keyframes at all. And I'm just going to listen to what it was before we started going into the keyframes.
Hey everyone. Everyone.
Okay, so that little pop I'm hearing right here is in my audio recording.
Hey everyone. Hey everyone.
Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that that was in fact there to begin with. So now I'm just going to go ahead and redo everything by hitting Control Shift Z or Command Shift Z if you're on a Mac. I'm going to keep hitting redo until we get back to where we were.
Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Hey everyone.
I'm going to remove this keyframe.
Hey everyone.
Ooh, that's terrible.
Hey everyone. I'm Brantley. Hey everyone. I'm Brantley.
Okay, that sounds better than at least the way we started. So what we were able to do was eliminate my taking a breath at the very beginning. Oh, but you know what? There is something else we could do that will probably get us a better result without having to deal with all these keyframes. And in fact, it's actually easier. So bear with me. Let's hit Control or Command Z and let's undo all of this mess that I made you guys do with me. Now, if we hold the Alt key, now remember, if we hover our mouse on the outer edge, it turns into like a little trim, a green trim icon where you can trim things back and forth. If we hold the Alt key and do the same thing, now I'm holding the Alt key, I'm only trimming the audio. I did not impact the video whatsoever. Now, I basically trimmed the area where I was taking a breath. Let's see if that solves our problem for us.
Hey everyone.
Yes, it does. So, instead of going through the hassle of creating all those keyframes to solve this problem, we were able to solve it just by simply trimming the audio. Now I'm going to go ahead and Control Z to undo just to walk you through this one more time. Remember, if you hover your mouse around the outer edge and you click and drag, you're trimming both the video and the audio of that clip. I'm going to hit Control Z and undo. But if you hold the Alt key or Option if you're on a Mac and then click and drag, even though both of them are still highlighted, you're only altering the one that you're specifically trying to drag. So we essentially just trimmed the audio.
Hey everyone.
And my breath is now gone. So that worked out pretty well. Now, normally the keyframe workflow is what I default to just because you can fine tune it and have maximum amount of fine control. But for some reason in this example, it was not playing well with us, and that's just the way it goes on almost every single project you will do as a video editor. Even if it worked 100 times for you, you're still going to experience that one time where all of a sudden it just does not work and you can't explain why. And this was one of those moments for me. But luckily, there's always more than one way to do something whenever you're creating a video. So it's just a matter of figuring out, okay, option A is not working for us. What's option B? Okay, what's option C? What's option D? And if you know what you're doing, if you understand the software and you understand all the different options that are before you, you can try your hand at different things and keep massaging those things until you can get the result that you're looking for. So it wasn't a completely wasted exercise. You still learned a little bit about how to create audio keyframes, but you also learned how to trim individual pieces of audio and video. Okay, so that was a long detour, but I think it was good and beneficial. I'm going to go ahead and Shift G to zoom out. Now, the other thing that we were going to do in this tutorial was bring in an opening graphic and a closing graphic. But what I'll probably do is I'll save the closing graphic for the next tutorial because this one's getting pretty long. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in a logo, which is right here. Now you're seeing like this black and white checkerboard behind the logo. That's just indicating to us that that is transparent. So the only thing you'll actually see is the Cut Yeti graphic, this text, and everything else is just transparent. So what we can do is we're just going to drag this down, and by transparency I'll demonstrate it right here for you. If you hover your indicator over here, there's the Cut Yeti logo and you can see right through it. But we don't want to have that logo here. We want the logo to be over here. And what we can do is we can drag our mouse until that green trim indicator comes up, click and drag, and now it fills the entire piece. Oh, looks like there's some overlap, so we're going to go ahead and Shift F to zoom in. And there it is. We're going to drag this over. Now, if you notice right here, I accidentally hit this, and this looks just like the audio levels over here. But unlike audio levels, this doesn't impact the audio level of video because video in and of itself doesn't have audio. What this does is it changes the opacity. And opacity is how transparent the actual graphic itself is. So if I go ahead and just click and drag this all the way down, it starts to fade. Bring it back up to 100%. And now it's fully opaque. The same applies to me. If you get tired of seeing my face, just go up here, click, and drag down. It lowers the opacity, and now I'm gone at 0%. Bring opacity back up to 100%, and I'm all the way there. So just keep an eye on that. Even if you don't mean to touch it, sometimes you can accidentally adjust it without even realizing it, and it can cause you some problems down the road. But as long as you know that it's there, you should be able to go back in and remedy those issues before they become an issue. Okay, so we're just full of all kinds of sidetracks today. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got this, and let's go ahead and turn on our music. To do that, just go over here and click on the speaker icon on our Audio 2 track, and backtrack, and hit the space bar to play.
Hey everyone.
Okay, that is incredibly boring. So, for one, I don't think the logo should be there at the very beginning. I mean, the music has to start. The logo should probably start too. Let's just listen to the beginning. So right when that beat hits, that's when I want the logo to start. So let's go ahead and just click and trim the logo to where it starts on that beat, and let's hit play. Spacebar. Okay, that's better. Now, what if it wasn't so jarring to where it just pops on screen? What if we actually transitioned on screen? So for that, we're going to use a video transition. Now we have a default. Let's go ahead and zoom in, Shift F a couple times to zoom in. And if we click here and hit our Y key, so now we've zoomed in, let's go to our Effects tab, click on that, and if you come down to Transition and Video, open that up, we're going to do Dissolve, and let's do a cross dissolve, and we're going to click and drag this right on over. And now let's see how this feels. That feels a lot better. But I want to fade on even slower. So let's try and find a point in the music where we feel like, okay, at this moment, the logo should be completely on screen. Let's go ahead and give it a listen. I think right about there. That feels pretty good. So this darker blue represents the transition we applied. We can come up here. And if we double click on it, come up here to our controls, okay. So this dark blue, before I click on, so this dark blue represents our transition that we applied. If we click on that dark blue, we can come up here and we can increase what in the world? This is so jank. So this dark blue represents our transition. So what we can do is we can hover our mouse over here on the edge of the transition, click and drag, and we can drag it to where we want the video to be completely opaque. So now it's going to fade up more smoothly, more intentionally. That feels a lot better. So Shift G to zoom back out. But it'd be nice if there was something besides just blackness underneath the logo. So what we can do, we can come back up to our Media tab, click on that, come down to Video and Elements. And if you look inside of Elements, I've left a few little sweets in here for us. We've got some glitches, we've got a distortion, but for this, I want to use an organic light leak. So if we double click, it'll come up here in our trimmer. And this is our light leak right there. And this light leak is 10 seconds, which will probably fit right under here just fine. We can just click and drag, and we're going to drag it underneath our Cut Yeti logo. Release. And now, because the Cut Yeti logo, all this is transparent, whatever's underneath shines right through. And what we'll do is, we don't want this just to pop on, because this is what's going to happen. Pop. We don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply transition to this in the same manner that we applied it to the Cut Yeti logo. So we'll go up to Effects, go back down to Transitions, Dissolves, Cross Dissolve, and we're going to drag and drop this Cross Dissolve right there onto the light leak. And let's see how this feels. That feels pretty good, but I wouldn't mind it just coming on a little bit smoother. So we're going to trim it and drag it on over.
Hey everyone.
Okay, that feels pretty good. I wouldn't mind making our logo bigger because right now it feels kind of small. So to do that, just click on the logo track itself. Come up here to our controls panel. Click on the transform drop-down. And here we have some options. We can change the position, up and down, left and right. Let's go ahead and Control Z to undo those. And we can also adjust the rotation. Control Z to undo that. We can change the opacity just like we could right here. We can also do it here. But for this right here, what we want to do is change the scale. I want to make it a little bit bigger, have it fill the screen more. That feels good. Tell you what, let's make it an even 150. So if we click here, we can actually type 150, hit enter, and there it is. Let's see how this feels as a good opening.
Hey everyone, I'm Brantley, one of the founders of Cut Yeti.
That feels pretty good. Now, one more thing we can do, remember, we can incorporate keyframes. Now, remember that keyframes are changes that you make over a period of time. So my question is, what if the Cut Yeti logo started a little smaller, and over the course of this 10-second intro, it got bigger, just to kind of add more emphasis to the Cut Yeti brand, and also just to add a little bit more of excitement to the opening logo to make it more interesting and engaging. Let's see what we can do if we do that. So if we go to the very beginning, click on this, we're going to set a scale keyframe, and we're going to make it 135. Hit enter. And now we're going to go way up here to the end. And we're going to make it 150. And now you can see if you go fast, it's actually going from smaller to bigger. And we were able to do that by creating keyframes. And we created those keyframes by first clicking here on the scale keyframe icon at the beginning, and then making our changes. Let's go ahead and hit play and see how that goes.
Hey everyone.
And that feels pretty good. Now, since we're really diving in and making this a longer tutorial than it really needed to be, let's go ahead and do something else. This bottom layer, the light leaks, it just kind of, it's moving too fast for me. I wonder if there's a way that we can slow this bottom light leak layer down so it kind of matches the feel of the music. So if we just click on the bottom layer, right click on it, we can go up here to speed, duration, and let's change the speed to 60%. Let's hit OK. And now let's play it back and see how this feels.
Hey everyone.
That feels a little bit better to me. Okay, so we've gone through and we've made an opening graphic. Let's go ahead and zoom out and see our entire timeline. So the keyboard shortcut for zoom out is, you should have it memorized by now, Shift-G. Go ahead and hit that a few times to zoom out. So now we've got ourselves a nice fancy little logo at the beginning. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to create the same thing at the ending. And that one will be much quicker. I'll make up for this one, I promise. See you in the next one.